Good morning, India. Good morning, humanity. It is Panihati, the place where Mahatma Gandhi retired. He retired from the politics of India as he was leading the Indian people's struggle for freedom. He saw Noakhali on fire. He tried to stop the riots across the border. It was the transfer of power. It was the transfer of population. It was conspiracy. It was bargaining. And those conspiracies and bargaining finalized by the grand alliance of religious blind nationalism. Marginalized Gandhi after expelling Netaji to self-exile, after making Dr. B.R. Ambedkar and Jugendranath Mandal helpless, and Simant Gandhi non-relevant. Fazlul Haq government had been killed to launch Muslim League to divide India. Gandhi saw Noakhali, Gandhi saw North India ablaze, Gandhi saw Punjab boiling, Delhi on fire, and it was direct action in Kolkata. Gandhi saw the riots. Gandhi was bleeding, and Gandhi had to witness the rapes around, the carnival of rapes, the carnival of bloodshed, the carnival of murders, ethnic cleansing across the newly created borders. Gandhi was killed at that moment. His soul was bleeding. And on 13th January 1948, some Nathuram Godse with his bullets managed well the last rites of the father of the nation to make him responsible for the partition. And the conspiracy was covered up, the bargaining was covered up, and we know nothing about the cabinet proposals, which were nothing but a set of papers which revealed less and hid more, because the conspiracies were drawn in and around New Delhi, and the bargaining was vocal, not written. It was an understanding for the transfer of power. Okay. Thanks humanity. for the response. We are not alone. We, the Indian apolitical activists of creativity, the writers, poets, and artists who have returned the awards from the Sahitya Academy, from the central government and the government of Karnataka, Maharashtra, Punjab, Haryana, and so on. More than 43 or 44 apolitical activists of humanity have acted and activated the public opinion so that the caste class hegemony is afraid of sustenance, and they are opting for different tactics of mind control. They are losing Bihar and now seems to speak reconciliation and negotiation. Well, it is a drama. And now, the apolitical activists worldwide, the writers, poets, creative artists worldwide, no less than 150 nations. Apolitical activists from no less than 150 nations speak for humanity. They stand with the writers, poets, and apolitical creative activists in India. We stand rock solid against fascism. Fascism never wins. Down, down, down fascism. Hitler had also mandate. Hitler launched World War II. Hitler attacked Soviet Union, violating his friendship and treaty with Joseph Stalin. Hitler bombed London Bridge in England. Hitler attacked Africa. Hitler attacked Europe and launched an unprecedented ethnic cleansing against Jews in Germany, in Poland, everywhere. The geography he captured and he lost, and nobody remembers Hitler. Charlie Chaplin is greatest. He said, love is enough to live a life. मोहब्बत काफी है जिंदगी जीने के लिए, बाकी चीजें उत्पीड़न के लिए है, दमन के लिए है, अत्याचार के लिए है, सत्ता के लिए है. यही धन बल है, यही पाशविक muscle power. It is money power. It is muscle power. It is making power. which for the consumer world strives. Society has been killed, family has been killed, sacredness of relations, mother and son, father and daughter, brother and sister, no more exists. They are speaking religion and they are working against religion. Religion is all about the faith in nature, the faith in Almighty, the faith in virtues, values, morality, ethics, and the religious people in India in modern times do speak only hatred and hatred and hatred, while those holy men and women before independence for thousands and thousands years they preached love, universal fraternity. Rabindranath Tagore was the greatest saint who represented the tradition of Indian philosophy of love. From Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Gautam Buddha, his Panchashil, the Buddhism, and the people who launched Renaissance in India, the son, Fakir, Baul, Pir, all of them, they are represented by Rabindranath Tagore. Thus, he could sing the Bharat Tirth. এই ভারতের মহামানবের সাগরে, it is the greatest pilgrimage of humanity which merged so many streams of humanities, Aryans, non-Aryans, Dravid, Aham, Mongolians, Australians, Negroids, all of them, Shak, Hun, Kushan, Pathan, Mughal. India had been ruled for Islamic rulers for 700 years. Mind you, 700 years. Until 18th century, Muhammad Ghori attacked India in 127 BC. And after that, Qutubuddin Aibak took over the slave dynasty, and it continued until the first struggle for freedom of India against the Raj. Muslims and Hindus, they were united on the name of religion because the cartage was consisted of beef and pork. Beef is a taboo for Hindus and pork is a taboo for Muslims. They revolted against this conspiracy conspiracy to kill their religion. And Bahadur Shah Jafar, the 80-year-old emperor from the dynasty of Alamgir Akbar and Jodha, who united India for Mughaliya Sultanate. From the dynasty of Aurangzeb, which seen as anti-Hindu, no Mughaliya emperor did anything which might be branded as anti-Hindu except the jizya tax. Brahmins used to say they are as foreigner as the Mughals are. They are not the Negroid or Mongolian or Australian type. They were Aryans. They had the pure blood and they should have the tax holiday. And the Mughal emperors allowed, and they were the part of the governance. The British Raj continued in India for 200 years. Okay? At least 900 years, and which crosses the 1000 years mark, witnessed either Muslim or Christian rule in India, and they had no agenda of conversion. They had, the Islamic rulers had no agenda to make India Islamic. The British Raj had no agenda to make India Christian. The Islamic rulers, the British rulers tried to unite India, and this map was extended. This Indian map was extended to Afghanistan, to Myanmar, and down in the stream of Southeast Asia, and in the Indian Ocean up to Sri Lanka. And the British won the Himalayas for India, which was under the Gurkha Nepalese rule. They united India, and during the transfer of power, for the power, for the partition, the grand alliance of Hindutva partitioned humanity, partitioned India, and the united India made by Islam and Christianity without killing Hindutva, without killing the Hindus. We have no evidence that Aurangzeb had opted for genocide culture. Those who intend or pledge to rewrite the history, they should look into the history. And it is the Vedic literature, it is the sacred hymns praising the god Indra, celebrates the destruction of Indus Valley civilization, and it was the partition of Indus Valley civilization, the cities of Harappa and Mohenjo-daro, and most part of those cities, those civilization went to Pakistan, and we have only some. And still the history is dark age for us to sustain the Manusmriti rule. After 16th May 2014, the Hindutva hegemony got the mandate as Hitler got the mandate. And we have already seen the execution of the agenda of Hindutva, the agenda of fascism to make India Hindu, to the ethnic cleansing of non-Hindus, the Sikhs, Buddhists, Jainis, Parsis, Jews, Muslims, Christians, who merged in Indian identity. It is the agenda of making the universe a global Hindu universe, and humanity responds. Humanity responds in India in the form of protest by the apolitical activism of media, art, literature, culture, and humanity responds worldwide from 150 nations. The first bullet against the British Raj launched from the gun of some Mangal Pandey from Barakpur Kent, and the Masihaj of Indian Renaissance were silent. Bengal were silent. The Bengali intelligentsia could not lead India. They were silent. They were silent. Thus, Bengal was silent in the struggle of freedom, in the first struggle of freedom. Bengali intelligentsia was silent when Birsa Munda launched his rebellion, when it was the first revolt against British Raj, the Chuad Vidro, entire central India, entire northeast, entire eastern India, and some part of North India too, Bihar, Jharkhand, and the part of MP and some part of Uttar Pradesh were ruled by SC, ST, OBC rulers as we know them this day. And it is called the rebellion of Chuad, the rebellion of criminals as dubbed, as the first agrarian revolt, the Sannasi Vidro, the united rebellion, united uprising of peasantry led by Sadhu, Sant, Baul, Fakir, Hindu and Muslim leaders are dubbed as Sannasi Vidro. It was not a Sannasi Vidro, it was an uprising of peasantry. The Indigo revolt, which was led by Harichand Thakur himself, the original reform, who launched Matwa religion to reject the Brahminical religion, against which Mahatma Jyotiba Phule, Narayan Guru, Ramaswamy Periyar, Ayush Ayan Gali, Harichand Thakur, Guruchand Thakur, and so many icons of Indian people stood in their different ways, and Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, Baba Sahib, declared the agenda of annihilation of caste, which is as much as important as the Communist Manifesto is. The Communist Manifesto revolted against the killing of the peasantry worldwide, the killing of the proletariat Sarvahara worldwide, and this agenda of annihilation of caste declared the war against inherent injustice, inherent inequality, and repeated the pledge of Gautam Buddha to ensure social, political, and economic justice. This pledge was repeated in the Constituent Assembly to finalize the framework of Indian Constitution, and our freedom fighters, our national leaders opted for federal system, opted for democratic republic, and we are the greatest democracy, even greater than the United States of America, the superpower. And we are going against the legacy, we are going against the history. But Bengal is way back in the history. Only Mandakranta Sen, the young girl, এই শারদে ভালোবাসার মুখ মন্দাক্রান্তা, এই শারদে প্রতিবাদের মুখ মন্দাক্রান্তা, আমরা তোমায় ভালোবাসি মন্দাক্রান্তা। You voice the people of Bengal, you voice the history of peasantry, the spirit of Chuard rebellion, the spirit of Santhal and Munda and Bhil rebellion. You speak in the linguistics of Queen of Jhansi, Jhansi ki Lakshmi, and Queen Durgavati in Chhattisgarh. You voice in the linguistics of Sannasi Vidroh, Indigo Revolt, and Renaissance. You are not alone, Mandakranta. Look, the Bengal intelligentsia is still silent. সারা বিশ্বের 150 দেশের লেখক, সাহিত্যিক, বুদ্ধিজীবী, শিল্পীরা একজোট ফাসিজমের বিরুদ্ধে সোচ্চার। বাংলার বুদ্ধিজীবীরা গুছিয়ে রেখেছেন পুরস্কার, সোনা দিয়ে বাঁধিয়ে রেখেছেন কেন্দ্র সরকারের, রাজ্য সরকারের সম্মান। তারা গাছেরও খান, তলারও কুড়ন, তারা বিবৃতিতে আছেন, তারা মিছিলে আছেন, তারা ফাসিজমের বিরুদ্ধে নিরুত্তাপ। They are formal, and this girl, Manda Kranta, is informal. Not only the activist of creativity, the apolitical activism in India, writers and poets worldwide, at least from 150 nations have joined Manda Kranta. We are proud of you. Now, it is 8:44 a.m. It is Mahasasti. It is festival season in Kolkata. The production system, the business has been reduced to this festival. The festival to kill the Mahishasur, the Asurs, the tribals, the Negroid people. And it is the greatest icon of Hinduism. It is a myth of ethnic cleansing. We are celebrating this festival. And our no less than 56,000 units of production have been closed. Shopping malls have captured the retail business. It is land acquisition despite Mati Manusher Sarkar, despite the rigid stand of Mamata Banerjee. The people are displaced from home, from villages, from jungle, Jameen. Sundarban is deforested for resorts. The people in islands, in Ganga Sagar and in south and north 24 Parganas lose land without knowing it. Land acquisition is the greatest business, and the syndicate mafia builders rule Bengal, and it is the hegemony, as the Bengal intelligentsia is the part of the hegemony. I am afraid to say, hence they cannot stand in resistance. It happened in 1857. It is happening in 2015. The history repeats. The history repeats itself. Outlook, Indian News Weekly, has supported this resistance by a political activism of creativity. The latest issue of Outlook focused on the whole anthology, Rage Against the Dying of the Light, launching the Dark Age afresh, the fascism. And it is Dilip Bob writes, a writer is the eye that sheds the first tear if the country's social fabric is disturbed. A writer can only survive when he or she breathes fresh air. That was Urdu poet Wasim Barelvi, one of the 42 writers who have written their Sahitya Academy awards or resigned from its offices so far. Never in India. It is not updated. The toll is higher. It is more than 40 writers and poets. Never in India's history have so many writers come together to protest against a government and the silence of the lambs. the Indian people have been converted into lamb. भेड़ धसान में तब्दील है यह लोकतंत्र, जहां बंटवारा राजनीति है, राजनीति का बंटवारा है, सियासत मजहबी है, मजहब का अता पता नहीं है, मोहब्बत का अता पता नहीं है, नफरत का बोलबाला है। It is it. We are divided camps fighting against each other, as Dr. B.R. Ambedkar described it. The partitioned India, divided India, and his heart was bleeding, who was speaking in the Constituent Assembly. It is the bleeding part of his maiden speech in the Constituent Assembly, and the history repeats. They are playing the caste card afresh because the beef ban failed despite the killings of innocents, the killings of Muslims and Hindus doubted to be eating beef. Beef was never a dispute in India. As Savita Babu last day in her eyewitness accounts that Muslims were never fundamental. Wherever she lived in her village, surrounded by Muslim villages. In Biznor, the Rajia Jaidi Khandan, the Indian hockey captain, Rajia Jaidi's family adopted her, the Hindu daughter, and they forgave beef. They don't eat beef in Biznor. Every family in which Savita Babu landed, they gave up beef. In Afzalgarh, down to the Tarai of Himalayas, the families in Afzalgarh, where she had friends and she used to visit to listen the Quran, Holy Quran, those families gave up beef. They are not fundamental as the fascism misinformation campaign claims. The Islamic rulers in India were not fascists. Had they been, there would not have been any trace of Hindu, and we had not been Hindu. Hindutva survived for its capacity of inherent democracy, that it is not a written constitution of Hindu. It is the democracy. Anybody may be Hindu and he has not to worship, he is not bound. Hindutva respects the right to atheism, to right to deny the God, to right to revolt against the divine power. And it is divinity, it is spiritualism, and the spiritualism is expressed by our sadhu, sant, peer, fakir, bauls and gurus in Sikh dharma, and Digambar and Shwetambar, Jainij, Mahavir, Bhagavan Mahavir, Birsa Munda, Shido, Kanho, Tata, Bhil. It is the history of India, the inherent intolerance, the inherent equality, inherent love, inherent pluralism, and it is the Bharat described by Rabindranath Tagore, greatest pilgrimage of humanity, merging so many streams of humanities. And it was Hindutva which merged the humanities. It is the humanity of Hindutva. The forces, the reactionary forces, the fascist forces, the governance of fascism and their linguistics against Hindutva, against Dharma, against love, against agrarian India, against the workers in India, against the employees in India, against the businessmen and women in India, against the women subjected to rape in family, in working place, in public places. They were treated as Shudra. They were treated as sex slaves, and the free market economy has reduced them into sex toys. And this Japani pill, rocket capsule and Viagra want to replace this great culture, this greatest humanity which Hindutva represented. This governance of fascism is killing Hindutva, the Hindu religion, the Sanatan Hindu Dharma, which merged Aryan, non-Aryans, Dravids, Sak, Hun, Mughal, Pathan. It is the Bharat Desh. And the Outlook report by Dilip Bob says, writing by nature is a solitary activity. It comes from the intensively private space. It would have taken a profound shock to a shared ethos, trauma even, for a disparate band of literary practitioners from all over the country, now it is worldwide, to intervene in the public sphere, and will such passionate rage at that it is only extreme provocation that could have been goaded them to shed their usual shyness of the public and collectively take on the role of conscience keepers of the nations. A tipping point has clearly been raised. I am proud of my friend and foe Uday Prakash, the Hindi poet who launched the initiative. I am proud of the Quedo Modi making in Banaras, the most ancient city, and our respected Kashinath Singh returned the prize. My friend in JNU, Manmohan, returned the prize. Friend in JNU, Dr. Professor Chamanlal, returned the prize. Our acquaintance Rajesh Joshi returned the prize. Our elder brother from Terry, the Doob Terry, the Purani Terry, जो डूब में शामिल है और डूब है अनंत यह देश इस वक्त मुक्त बाजार, उस डूब के कभी मंगलेश डबराल ने भी लौटा दिया साहित्य अकादमी पुरस्कार। नवारुण भट्टाचार्य जिंदा होते, हमारे वीरेंद्र दास जिंदा होते तो यकीनन वो भी लौटा देते। Whoever I know, they are in rock solid resistance, and I hope someday or other day the personalities like Grish Karnad, the personalities like Javed Akhtar and Mahesh Bhatt and those celebrities in Indian film industry, including the greatest actor Amitabh Bachchan, Rajnikant down the south, our friends Gyanenpati, Alok Dhanwa, Leela Jagudi, Arun Kamal, all of them without any exception would return the awards and would voice the people of India still bonded together. And Savita Babu told us that मिट्टी का कोई रंग नहीं होता, किसानों का धर्म खेती है. India is essentially agrarian. Savita Babu opened the eyewitness account of another Meerut, the Meerut of 1857, which consolidated Hindu-Muslim unity. We have known a father in Meerut whose son and daughter-in-law, both of them were doctors, had been killed in Hapur Road when they were going to see a patient, and they were killed by the rioting mob from the tsunami of hatred. And the father in his 80s stood alone, strong, and he was preaching love, he was preaching intolerance, he was against writers, he was speaking humanity, and he forgave those rioters who killed his son and daughter-in-law. It was Meerut, it is Meerut. And the western UP, except Meerut, अमन चैन का डेरा है, क्योंकि किसानों का बसेरा है और किसानों का धर्म अमन चैन है, किसानों का मजहब अमन चैन है, किसानों का चूल्हा साझा चूल्हा है. और सविता बाबू से साझा चूल्हा सुलग रहा है सरहदों के आर पार. पाकिस्तान में भी भारत की सती सावित्री को याद करती है महिलाएं, और पाकिस्तान में भी हमारी पंजाबी बोली बोली जाती है. उनकी जुबान उर्दू है, जो जुबान हमारी जनता की भी है. वे मुसलमान जो अवध में रामलीला मनाते थे, वे मुसलमान और ईसाई जो कालागढ़ में दुर्गा पूजा मनाते थे, they represent the Bharat Tirth written by Rabindranath Tagore. It is the India, and the governance of fascism is working against India. They are charging Rabindranath Tagore with sedition. They are branding a political activist, anti-national, extremist, terrorist. They are the terrorists. They are the extremists. They are anti-national because they are killing the soul of India, the spiritualism inherent. जो मजहब मोहब्बत का है उसके खिलाफ ये जंग शुरू की है फासिज्म की औलादों ने, और उसके खिलाफ लब आजाद है, चाहे सर कटा लो हमारा, हम आजाद है. It is the proclamation of freedom of press. It is liberation of press, and as an activist of creatism, as a social, a political activist, I am proud of Indian intelligentsia, Indian poets and writers. I am proud for my friends Uday Prakash, Chamal Lal, Rajesh Joshi, Manglesh Dabral, our respected Kasinath Singh, Manda Kranta Sen, and a teenager from Karnataka who gave up Karnataka Academy Award, Munabbar Rana, the respected Sire, and everyone. I am forgetting the name, but the names are written in my heart, and I am grateful to them who is sustaining humanity, who is fighting to sustain the nature. इस कायनात की रहमतें, इस कायनात की बरकतें, इस कायनात की नियामतें बहाल रखने की लड़ाई जो लड़ रहे हैं फासिज्म के खिलाफ, उन सबको सलाम, उन सबको लाल सलाम, उन सबको भारतीय बहुजन समाज जिसने सामंतवाद और साम्राज्यवाद के खिलाफ लड़ाई का नेतृत्व किया है 1000 सालों तक, हजारों सालों तक, मोहनजोदड़ो और हड़प्पा के पतन के बाद उस बहुजन समाज की ओर से उन सबको नील सलाम, और मेहनत कश जनता की ओर से जिनके हक हकूक का कत्ल किया जा रहा है धर्म के नाम पर, धर्मोन्माद के नाम पर, एक अनंत बदस्थल है यह देश, एक गैस चैम्बर है, एक এই মৃত্যু উপত্যকা আমার দেশ নয়. নবরুণ ভট্টাচার্য declared in 70s, and our writers and our poets are declaring afresh, এই মৃত্যু উপত্যকা আমার দেশ নয়. I am disappointed that Bengal does not echo. Bengali intelligentsia does not echo. এই মৃত্যু উপত্যকা আমার দেশ নয়. Bengali intelligentsia does not recite Bharat Tirtha. They forget Qazi Nazrul Islam, who said Jater Name Bajjati. They forget Sukant Bhattacharya, who wrote that I have to work, I have to write poetry to make this universe better for future generation. Who wrote a chant जली हुई रोटी है चाँद. Who wrote সবচেয়ে খেতে ভালো মানুষের রক্ত. Who wrote तिलिया माचिस की तिलिया. I am happy that the writers, the poets, the apolitical activists the social activists of the dead society, of the nation, of the people that we have been converted to lambs to be sacrificed. They represent us, they voice us, and they have become the माचिस की तिलिया जो सुलग रही है। इस नफरत की आग के खिलाफ एक पवित्र अग्नि का आवाहन है यहाँ, जहाँ माचिस की तिलिया सुलग रही है बदलाव के लिए, उस भारत के लिए जो भारत गौतम बुद्ध का है, जो भारत पंचशील का भारत है, जो भारत इस्लामी शासन के 700 सालों में नहीं बदला, जो भारत ईस्ट इंडिया कंपनी और ब्रिटिश राज के 200 हुकूमत के दौरान नहीं बदला, जो भारत मेरठ दंगे में नौचंदी मेले के उजड़ने के बाद, मलियाना और हाशिमपुरा नरसंहार के बाद नहीं बदला, बाबरी विध्वंस के बाद नहीं बदला, सिखों के कत्लेआम के बाद नहीं बदला, भोपाल गैस त्रासदी के बाद नहीं बदला। 1946 से लेकर अब तक जारी नफरत की सुनामी, हिंदुत्व के महागठबंधन, द ग्रैंड अलायंस ऑफ हिंदुत्व, द ग्रैंड अलायंस ऑफ रिएक्शनरी फोर्सेस, और वह भारत नहीं बदला, क्योंकि सविता बाबू के शब्दों में साझा चूल्हा अभी सुलग रहा है। आफ्टर मीरठ राइट्स इंडियन peasantry, the farmers from UP and Uttarakhand seized Meerut and New Delhi. They were Muslims, they were Sikhs, they were Hindus, and they had the Saja Chulha with them. Sabita Babu and me, we had the jaika of the pakwan, of the roti, makai di roti and sarso da saag, the ghee, desi ghee. We had the jaika. Then Meerut, the riot torn Meerut, and the love prevailed. So the love will prevail, the humanity will prevail, and it is the history of India. It is the holy Bharat Tirth written by Jatihara, Mantrahin, Bhakta, Ravindra, and thus every woman across the border, in Bangladesh, in India, they sing Rabindra Sangeet. And I hope those in Pakistan, those in Nepal, those in Singapore, the entire world would opt for Rabindra Sangeet, and the women had to be liberated in music and love. Please join us in this caravan of humanity, the caravan of 115 nations, including India, the caravan of apolitical, social activists of creativity worldwide, speaking humanity. हस्तक्षेप पर आपके हस्तक्षेप का इंतजार है। हस्तक्षेप किसी भी भाषा में, किसी भी बोली में जन सुनवाई का मंच है, जो इन हस्तक्षेप, सब्सक्राइब हस्तक्षेप, रीड हस्तक्षेप, intervene on हस्तक्षेप. It should be bilateral, multilateral dialogue. हमें संवाद का इंतजार है. हमें मूक बधिर भारतीय जनगण के उभार की जन जागरण का इंतजार है. हमें बंगाल के जागने का इंतजार है. আমরা প্রতীক্ষা করেছি বাংলার জেগে ওঠার. पंजाब has risen from the dust, from the burnt dead body, from the like a phoenix. Punjab is awakened. Past the poet was killed. Our writers, poets and artists from Punjab in masse gave up the awards, and Punjab and Bengal were leading the struggle of freedom. Bengal was represented by Netaji and Punjab was represented by Shaheed-e-Azam Bhagat Singh, Sardar Bhagat Singh, the greatest ever martyr. Bengal was represented by Khudiram Bose. Bengal was represented by Jyotirnath Das, who succumbed in British jail after the hunger strike continued for 50 days. Our Iram Sarmila from northeast is on hunger strike for 14 years against Armed Force Special Power Act. The humanity is speaking from northeast. The humanity is speaking from Kashmir, the Himalayas. The humanity is speaking worldwide, breaking the barriers, the borders of humanity created by political hegemonies worldwide, created by superpowers. Humanity is the greatest superpower, mind you. Humanity speaks in the linguistics of Gandhi. Humanity speaks in the songs of Rabindranath Tagore. Humanity speaks in the voice of Baba Sahib Dr. Ambedkar. Humanity speaks in the revolt of Martin Luther King. Humanity speaks in the language of Nelson Mandela. Humanity speaks through Long March by Mao Zedong. Humanity speaks from the unification of United States of Soviet Russia by Joseph Stalin. Humanity speaks in the language of Abraham Lincoln, who united the United States of America, which killed racial apartheid, which fought racial apartheid, which abolished slavery. Slavery cannot be sustained. Manusmriti cannot be sustained. The patriarchal hegemony raping the women, the children, it might not be sustained. Humanity converting humanity a commodity, converting the woman a sex toy, converting the humanity into the lambs of to be killed by hatred, by ethnic cleansing cannot be sustained. So the activists of humanity, the apolitical activism of creativity speaks, and Hindi writer Manglesh Dabral and Rajesh Joshi are clear-eyed in the description of what they see as a climate of fear and intimidation, from writing to food habits, and sections of the ruling party is spewing the venom against Muslims. A dangerous atmosphere is being created in the country, says Manglesh Dabral. Rajesh Joshi adds, there had been attempts to carve free speech earlier, but such trends have become more pronounced under the government. The writer who knows all about bans on free speech took it to a global platform. Salman Rushdie, speaking on the eve of the Frankfurt Book Fair, which he inaugurated last Thursday, remarked, ordinary freedoms are being curtailed. These writers are showing tremendous courage. These are alarming times for the expressions in India. Narendra Modi's silence is emboldening thuggish behavior. Veteran BJP leader Lal Krishna Advani, the Iron Man who was present when the Babri Masjid came down, is clearly worried. Such incidents, the attack on his former AD Kulkarni, shows a growing intolerance towards views that are different from our own. Equality. Modi cannot be ignorant of the fact that the outrage felt by the award returning writers is shared by many across India who are alarmed at the direction the country is headed in. And I read this story in जनसत्ता. विकास के खिलाफ साजिश में कठपुतली बने कलमकार, राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ ने कहा, सम्मान लौटाना भारत के खिलाफ साजिश। राष्ट्रीय स्वयं सेवक संघ के मुखपत्र पंचजन्य के एक लेख में कहा गया है, हाल के दिनों में देश में कथित रूप से असहिष्णुता के विरोध में लेखकों के एक वर्ग द्वारा सम्मान लौटाए जाने के संदर्भ में कहा गया है कि यह वर्तमान राज्य का सरकार के तहत देश को विकास की ओर बढ़ता देख भारत के खिलाफ कोई बड़ी साजिश है। ये कलमकार उसकी कठपुतली है। पंचजन्य का नया अंक मुख्यतः इसी विषय पर केंद्रित है। इसमें कहाँ बचा सम्मान शीर्षक से बहुत सारे लेख उपलेख प्रकाशित हुए हैं। इसमें कहा गया है, साहित्य के क्षेत्र में कुछ नाम आजकल सुर्खियां बनने की होड़ में है। एक खास बिरादरी के अगुआ कहलाने वाले इस साहित्यकारों ने दुनिया की चुनिंदा घटनाओं की आड़ को लेकर पुरस्कार लौटाने की शुरुआत तो की, लेकिन बाकी मामलों के चुप्पी के चलते घिर गए। Those who returned Academy Awards, Uday Prakash, Chaman Lal, Rajesh Joshi, Manglesh Dabral and others, they are a different generation. They were not awarded during 1984. They were not awarded during emergency. I believe they would have returned, as Uday Prakash has clarified. And काशीनाथ सिंह प्रोटेस्ट पिछले 2 हफ्तों के दौरान साहित्य अकादमी सम्मान लौटाने वाले साहित्यकारों को लेकर कई मंत्रियों के गैर जिम्मेदार बहानों की जाने माने लेखक काशीनाथ सिंह ने कड़ी आलोचना की है। जनसत्ता रिपोर्ट। एंड सी fascism smells defeat And control of Economic Times reports controversial remarks by BJP leader Sammans Khattar, Balyan, Sakshi Maharaj and Som. BJP president wants leaders not to shoot their mouth upon sensitive issues. And meanwhile, Kashmir truck is attacked and the victim dies in the whip gate. And what is the result? Economic Times reports, Court versus Center, the finance minister acknowledges independence of judiciary as an essential ingredient of basic structure of the constitution and said court can't be third chamber of legislature. Say Jaitley. Who are you, Mr. Jaitley? The finance minister of India. You are not above humanity. You are not above Supreme Court. You are not above judiciary. You have been defending Dow Chemicals, who denied justice to Bhopal gas tragedy victims. And you made port trust port corporations so that they might be privatized. You are an eminent corporate lawyer and you are contempting the court. Here it is. Humanity has to be sustained. Nature has to be sustained. साझा चूल्हा जो सुलग रहा है वह साझा चूल्हा अब घर घर सुलगाना हमारा काम है. यही जन जागरण है, यही हस्तक्षेप है. मोहब्बत का पैगाम हर दिलों तक पहुंचाना है. सविता बाबू ने कहा दिलों का बंटवारा नहीं हो सकता. दिलों का बंटवारा हुआ तो कयामत आ जाएगी, इंसानियत खत्म हो जाएगी. इस कयामत के मुकाबले हम खड़े हैं. हम इंसानियत के हक में खड़े हैं. हम कायनात की नियामतें, बरकतें, रहमतें बहाल करने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. हम हिंदुत्व की आत्मा को बचाने के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. हम मनुष्य के धर्म के अधिकार, मनुष्य की आस्था के अधिकार, मनुष्य के मौलिक अधिकार, अभिव्यक्ति के अधिकार, मनुष्य की जल, जंगल, जमीन, नागरिकता और प्राकृतिक संसाधनों पर उत्पादकों के अधिकार के लिए लड़ रहे हैं. बिकॉज क्रिएटिव राइटिंग इज ए सोशल प्रोडक्शन. रचना कर्म एक सामाजिक उत्पादन है. एंड वी आर a political activist of creativity which is concerned with humanity and humanity only. We damn care of power. We damn care for the superpower. We damn care for the free market, open market, for this inhuman siyasi मजहब, the blind nationalism. Thank you, India. Good morning, India. Good morning, humanity.